All right, we're going to start. I think my stream is not working. I don't know why. Let me see here. Okay, we did go start. We're going to start right now. All right, let me do what? Yep. So let me see if it is working here. All right, guys, let's start. I'll start recording right now. I hope you can see my screen clearly. And all right. Hello, and how are you? My name is Muhindo, and I welcome you to our 7th lecture of creating a complete hotel management system using plain PHP, MySQL, and HTML, just without any framework. So we have been following this series, beginning from the first one, now in the 7th part. So if this is your first video to watch, I recommend you to go and watch the very first video on this playlist on this series. All right, without much say, let's go straight to where we stopped at in the previous lecture. But as you know, always do 40 minutes, so I'll start our counter and then we dive into our today's business. Okay, so yesterday or in the previous lecture, we stopped at this level of coming into room categories and click on create room. So here we're able to enter the room name, and here pick the what? The photo of the category. So let's go ahead and do what? And open our database and go and check. Let's go ahead and check the hotel and see what field we need to add there. So we come here to HotelPro, and then we come to the room categories. So I've already finished the name, the details, and then the photo, and we are remaining the template. So some different rooms can have some different categories can have different templates of a presentation. So I'm going to have like 4 templates. So these templates are going to be in a kind of a drop down, going to be a select or a drop down. So I'm going to do a field that is going to be managing drop downs. So I finished the field of a name, I've finished the field of photo. Now let's go ahead and do the field of that can be able to do a drop down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add here just a third section. So let's go ahead and go to our admin categories create, and then come here. So we're going to do another one for select now. So I'll come here on top here. So these are 6, 6. So if I divide by 4, I make this one by 4. It means that we shall have possibly 3 fields that can fit there. So if you come and refresh here, you see that now they are spending a space of 3. So I can just simply come and copy this one and then put it here. So you see it is now 4. So now the main 3 will now fit there properly. So I'm going to have the template and here the photo. All right. So this template, we can just simply come and change this one to room template. Okay, but it's going to be a drop down. It's going to be a select drop down. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going just to create another one, a text or an input of a drop down. So I can call it drop down input or select input. Okay, so let's do that. So we shall come to our utils. We shall come to our functions file. This is the functions file, and then I'll search for text input. Okay, so I can change this text input. Let me copy it and I create the one for what? For select. So let me copy it and then paste it here. Then I'll come and call this one and change the name to select input. So this one, the one that's going to be responsible for select. So almost everything is going to be the same, only that the logic of select is going to change. Okay, so I can come here and remove this one. So you can just simply come and say select, and then you put, if the value is there, you put there the value. I'm going to explain it, don't worry. And then if the feedback is there, you can, okay, this is that there. All right, let me explain it. So here is select, and then we're going to have here is select, and then you're going to have the classes. So everything is just the same. If the attributes are there, everything is just the same like the way we did before. However, this is just select and it is having a closing here. Now here we're going to put a drop down. Okay, we're going to put a drop down for the options. Okay, the drop down for the options. So let's design that drop down. So we shall come here on top and just simply say drop down equals nothing by default. Okay, so after doing so, we'll come here and say so our first value in the drop down can be maybe select that particular value. So let's put this one in as the first value of a drop down. Okay, so it is having a value of nothing, or can even remove value, but it has select, and then you pass there the label. So to pass there the label, I can just simply do like this, and then I put there the label like that. So it will be select that label that will have been given to us. Alright, so after doing so, I'm going to check if I'm going to add here another variable called drop down options, or I can say maybe options. Okay, so I can say maybe options. I make it to be an empty array. Okay, an empty array by default. So in these parameters that will be set, I'll be sending the options. Okay, I'll be sending the options in here. So I'm going to check if option is set and if it is an array. So shall just simply come and say if option is set and is array. Okay, so I'll go ahead and say if, okay, if, and then an open bracket and say is set. So is set, I go ahead and say params or parameters. Okay, if you say the parameter of array options, okay, and then I can add there another condition here, say and what, and the is array like this. Okay, if is array. So after doing so, if those two conditions are correct, then I'll go ahead and loop, and then I'll go ahead, let me get this. All right, so I'll go ahead and get those options and put them in this options variable. Okay, so those are options. I'll call them and I'll put them here. So in here, down here, I'm just going to come on bottom here, on bottom here, and just loop. Okay, so I'm just simply going to say for each, and then I pass the options. Okay, make this one key one, and make sure that you put this one as option because it might mess with and the other value that you have on top there. So I go ahead, I get the key, so I check if is selected. Okay, now so I go ahead and say if so I go ahead and say selected equals to nothing. So selected equal to nothing. So I go ahead and say if the value that someone will have passed to me here, if that value is same as the key, then I will make that as what? As selected. I'll mark that one as selected. Then I go ahead and say drop down. I go ahead and I concatenate, so it is full stop equals dot equals. So I concatenate, I add the previous value. So I look through those options. So I open here my brackets, I mean my quotations, and then I open less than sign, and then put option, and then put value. So the key is the value, and then I close the key as the value as you see it there, and then I come and say if it's selected, I put there the selected value. So if this value is selected, this word selected will be put here, and then I also close here. So here I've closed the first option value, and then I go ahead and pass the option itself. So the option is now the key, the value that someone will be sending as a value of an array, and then I close the option. So when I loop like that, and then I come and put this option here now, alright, the drop down, I come and put it here. Come and put it here between the what? Between the select. I put here the drop down. So I hope you've seen that, and I hope you've understood it. Let me explain it again. I say it is just like the other input field that we are doing. In fact, I just duplicated the one that I was doing, and then I went ahead and created the options array and make it empty. And then if is array in parameter here, I go ahead and check if options are what? If options are set. Okay, if options are set and it's an array, because we may need to check before we get errors. So it's an array. I go ahead and loop and put those options in the what? In this options key. So after doing so, on bottom here, so everything almost remains the same, the name and the rest. Here in bottom, I go ahead and loop through the options. Okay, remember the options, if they are not there, it is an empty array, so it will not throw an error. So I go ahead and loop through those options. I get the key and the value itself. So I check if I make, by default I say selected equals to nothing. So I check if the value is equal to the key. Remember, the value is the value that is being passed. If the value is equal to the key, I go ahead and say selected equals to selected. So this selected will make this field to be selected, or to be selected if the value is there. And then I say drop down, and drop down, you know, by default is having select the name of the value there. Can even remove this word value. Okay, so I go ahead and put the value as the key. So here is just concatenation. So this quotation mark is closing this one, and then these values that the HTML double quotes, and then I add another. So I put the key here, and then I put, if it's selected, the selected word will be there, otherwise it will be nothing, and then I put the options. So that's it, and then I come and put that drop down here, in here. All right, I put the drop down in there. So that is it. Let's go ahead and refresh now. So to refresh, I'll go ahead and copy this select, the name of the method select input. Then I come to create, and then come and change this one to select input room template. So if let me remove autofocus. I can make it required, but I remove autofocus. So if I come and refresh, you'll see everything is fine. And here we're having some kind of what? Of select, which is just simply saying select a what? Select a template. So let's go ahead and pass options. Okay, so I can go ahead and pass options. So I say options, and then I go ahead and pass, so an array, square array like that. So I can just simply now go ahead and give, so make sure that you pass an array. Options is an array. So I go ahead and say maybe template 1 to be template 1. Okay, so this will be the value, this will be the key. So I give maybe template 1, template 2, template 3, and template 4. So that's the main template that you have. So that's it. So if I come and refresh here, you see everything is okay. When I click here, the templates are not coming. Let's find out. So here, options. All right, the template is not coming. Let's find out why. So let's come here, back to our functions. Let's see if the options are being set. All right, so we can just simply come here and try to do some check up and see if options are there. So I can just simply come and say die say maybe here. All right, so if you go there and refresh, you see die here will come up here. And then let's go ahead and put now this one here in options. You see if your options are actually set. You see the options are not being shown. So why? I think so here, how did you call it? Options like this. Let's make sure that also is options. Yeah, that is okay. All right, let's go ahead and see why is not showing. So let's see. First of all, is set. Let me just simply come here and do some display echo pre-tag, and then just print out the param. So if I dump the parameter, you'll see that we have options. It is there. Can I access the options? Let me put it here. Come and refresh options. It is there, well accessible. So it is options, and make sure it is, oh yeah, I've seen the mistake. Let me remove all this. I've seen the mistake. So here the word is set. I'm supposed to remove it. Supposed to be is options, just is array, and then I pass the option. Yeah, that was the mistake I was doing. So if I refresh right now, you'll see our drop down is coming. Okay, you see our drop down is coming. So you do it once and then you use it many times. See, our drop down is there. Our drop down is coming. So that is beautiful. And then this is the name. So here you can be able to enter the data there. All right, so let's go. I hope that you have understood that. You can pause the video or you can slow it down to make sure that you understand everything, how I've done it. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back to create, and then we're going now to put a submit button. Okay, we're going to put a submit button here. All right, so I'll come here. I'll come to the bottom. Let me come to the create, and then I'll come to the bottom of this form. Then I'm going to put a submit button. All right, submit button. Okay, so yep, so Copilot has put it for me. So let me refresh. So this is our submit button. So it is just simply a row, and then we have a class of 12 md12, and then we have a button, it's submit, and then say we have create. So since we can have edit, you can just make this one what to be submit. All right, so that's it. So let's go ahead and maybe put here mt2 mtmd1. I think that is okay. So maybe can always make it md2, so it can be a little bit bottom here. So there you go. So there we go. That is a simple form, and it is beautiful and lovely. So all what you need is now to feed in their data and then start inserting the data in the database. All right, so let's go ahead and do that now. So let's go ahead and do that. So what we're going to do, remember our action is submitting with the same page. All right, let's try to see if it is submitting on the same page. Refresh. So I have this plugin called fake filler. This fake filler, it will help you to autofill your forms. You can, it is a Google Chrome extension. Just simply search fake filler like this. So this fake filler, it will you can find it there. Fake filler extension, it is here. Just go ahead and add it to your Chrome. This one here, it will help you to fake fill the data in your forms when you're testing something. All right, so let me first put in my phone here. My computer is heating up. All right, so there I just press here fake filler. It fills for me whatever I want. So let me submit. When I submit, so it is not submitting to the endpoint. All right, so is it doing that? Let us just simply remove it and you see. Let's try to remove and you see. If I remove everything, actions, I refresh, I do fake fill, I submit. So it is submitting now. So you are supposed to remove this action in order for it to submit on the same thing. So it is submitting right now. Okay, so it is submitting. So if I refresh here, I'll see that it is submitting data. So what you're going to do right now is to what I'm going to do right now is to now receive the data. Okay, so let's go ahead and come here. What you shall do, it's going to be much more like the register. So first of all, you shall need to require once the, so I can come like, actually I can come on top, like on top. Okay, so these are room categories, create room categories. So I can come here on top here, on top, and then after doing so, I can come on top and then I import the functions. I require the functions, and then I come back here to register, and I just see how it is done in register. So I can just simply copy this and see if it set the method. If the method is if the method that is being submitted is post, then I can just simply die here and say time to post data, something like that. So yeah, that's it. So if I refresh here, you'll see time to post data. So let's dump whatever has come. So only maybe here we forgot to put the change the name of a template. So we come to template. Name is supposed to be template, like this. All right, so let's go back. Last, I'll just press enter, and then I come and fake fill, or then submit. So you see, there we go. So let's come back here, and then so let me go ahead and say echo and say pre-tag, and then say print underscore post. So I'll see what has come in post. So if I refresh here, this is the data that has come through the post. All right, yeah. So what you need, you're going just to make sure that the name is required, and then the template. Yeah, so we can check that by doing like the way we did it here. If it's not required, return back the user. Okay, so so I can just simply come and say here, I just come on top here, say check if name is submitted. So Copilot will do that for me. So I just simply say if is not set. Yeah, I can just simply copy this anyway. I can just simply copy this. So I just simply come and put here post and put name. If it's not set the name and the name is empty, I can simply put session of errors. You see, you still remember this one, form errors, and I pass here name, and then I say name is required, and then I return back the user to the same form, to this form. Okay, so that is in case the name is not submitted. Yeah, so I think that is okay. We can also check for the template. So if the template is submitted, to return back. Yeah, so that's it. All right, so after doing so, we can go ahead and now create our and create our room. Maybe you may need to check if the room name is already existing, something like that. I mean, sorry, the category name is already existing or not. You can do that as well. However, for now, I'm just going to go ahead and create. So db insert, you see it is here. Just simple insertion. Okay. So just simply say db insert. Okay, db insert. So you insert into room categories, and then you pass the name, the template, the photo. So for the photo, let us leave it. I'll explain it later. Let me first leave the photo, and then the details. That's it. So if it successfully returns that, I can I can go ahead and set the success session. I don't know. We can have a variable of success session, and then we be displaying it in the header. All right. So if it does that, I can just simply say session message. So session maybe success message. I can say room created successfully. Okay, room created successfully. To make this one simple, we can just simply come here in our function, and we can just simply create what we call alert message function. Okay, so alert message function, I just simply come and put it here on top here. So I can just simply say maybe alert message function. So I'll just simply come and say function, this one is for displaying. Okay, let's just simply shall receive alert. So let me say alert message. So alert message, it will receive type of a message. Okay, receive type of a message, to receive type, and then also to receive data. Okay, so that's it. So in here we're going just simply to make session. Okay, so session, and then you can say maybe alert what, alert message. So in this alert message session, we are having alert message, and then you shall be having the type of the message, and then you shall be having the what, the data. Okay, the data itself. Alright, so after doing so, you can see that. So you shall just simply be calling this. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to our create room, and then we just simply say alert message. So we begin with the type of a message is success, and then this will be like a Bootstrap class, and then you say room created successfully. Alright, so that can be like our message, room created successfully. And then after, we redirect back the user to maybe room created successfully. After doing that, then we redirect the user to redirect the user back to the list of rooms. Okay, so you direct the user back to the list of rooms. Okay, so we just simply say location, and then say admin room categories, and then here we exit. So here we check, just we take the user back to the rooms. Okay, so you can see that. Hope you can see that. So let's go ahead and try to submit again. So you can pause the video and look at this carefully. So here we check the method, here we check if the name is coming, here we check if the template is set, here we go ahead and check the room categories, and we go ahead and insert this data to the database in room categories, and then here if it is successfully, say the message of success and say room created successfully. Alright, so now for example, in this case here, if it is maybe the name was not set, you can go ahead and create as well the alert. Okay, you can go ahead and create the alert and say maybe the name is required, something like that. So let's go ahead and refresh. So if I refresh here, so you see it has taken back to the room categories, meaning that the room was actually created successfully, but we are not seeing the message. So we're going to work on the logic of displaying the message. So let's try to come here to the room categories. You see the room has been created. You see it is there. So let us work on the logic of displaying the alert message. So this alert message, we are going to do what? We're going to put this alert message in the what? In the header. Okay, in the header. All right, we're going to put in the header. So let's go ahead and do that. So we shall just simply come to our header file. So our header file is here. Our header file is there. So I'll come here in the bottom here, or we can just first do all these things on top here, and then we display them at once here after we have done that logic. Okay, so I'll come here on top and check. For example, maybe I can put here another variable and say has alert message. Okay, so I make it false. So how shall you know that it's having alert message? We shall just first check if it set the alert function, I mean the session alert. All right, so let me go ahead and do that. So I just simply come and say if is set this. Okay, so I don't stop from there again. I go ahead and say if is set the this second variable, which is the type. Right, the type. Then after again I can say if it set the message. Okay, the message. Right, I can just check all of them. So yeah, so I go ahead and check. I go ahead and check if we set the what, the message inside this. So you know you have alert message, and then you have the type and the message, all of them there. So if all these are set, I can now say that alert message, I mean the session is set, and I make this one to be true, and then I go ahead and say alert message to be the message that we have got here. Okay, to be the message that we have got there. All right, so after doing so, sometime we need to store there an array of errors. All right, let's just keep it simple right now. So here is the alert message. So I say has alert is true, and then this is the alert message. So I can just simply say maybe alert message, and just also make it here and make it to be empty. To be empty, and also alert type to be empty, like this. All right, so and remember it is header, in header. So I come here and say alert type equals to the alert type. So let's see if this one is now okay. So I can just simply say echo and put a pre tag, and then do some printer and die here. So let's go ahead and refresh. You'll see that room was created successfully. So that is the alert message. Okay, so you have here the type, and so it can successfully reach this level. So you can see there, you can see that. So in the alert message, we are having the alert, we have the message itself, and then we have also the type, like that. So if I come and refresh right now, you'll see the message is there. And if I come and put here the alert type, the type is also success, it is there. So that is okay. So I can just simply remove this die. So I've kept this and set the session alert message to be commented until if I finish displaying, then we shall come and clear the message after displaying it. Alright, so let's go to the bottom of this. So let's first simply put our let's first simply put our alert, and see, maybe we can say bootstrap dismissible alert. So see if Copel can do that. Yeah, right. So yeah, that's okay. So let me explain this. So we just simply, let me first refresh and I show you what I've done. So you see our alert message is there, and you can dismiss it. Okay, let me explain it. Okay, so here we just simply check if we open a PHP and say if has alert message, and open the curly bracket here, and I put here, I close here the PHP, and then I come and close it in the bottom here. So if the message is set in between here, I want to put the logic of what? the logic of displaying the alert. So I just simply say div alert, and then I say alert, and I pass the type. So this type, remember, it is a bootstrap what? It is a bootstrap. It's a bootstrap contextual class. Can be success, can be danger, it can be warning. So I go ahead and do that. And then after doing so, I go ahead and say div and say alert the message type and say alert dismissible, fade now, fade on show, and then I say roll alert, and then I go ahead and say btn. I put this dismissible alert. You can see how it is it's a dismissible button, and then after I go ahead and put the what the message itself. So by doing so, you can pause the video and look at how I've done that. So by doing so, we shall result with something like this. We have the room category and then the created successfully alert. I can be able to close it. If I refresh, I can be able to see it. So that is it. So I can make sure. Okay, that's it. I hope you can see that. So yeah, that is okay. I think that is okay. Maybe I can surround with the p tag if I want. If I refresh, be able to see that is it. Let me remove the p tag. I don't need it. But the main point here, you're able to see your alert message, and you have a close button where you can dismiss it. So you see, room category created successfully. That's the message you send from the other side through session. So I hope you've understood that. So I save. Let me come and now clear. So immediately after we have displayed it, it's supposed to clear. So to clear, we just simply say unset session, and then I clear the alert message in the session. So if I save, I come and refresh, you'll see to display one time only, and I refresh again, it disappears. So that is good. So it means that now we can be able to display, we can be able to save our data into the database. Alright, so now let's work on now another important thing, which is the image uploading. We want to work on the logic of uploading the image, because that is very important. That is really important in this project that we're going to work with. Alright, so let's go ahead and proceed. So here in the category, we want to be putting there the image and then upload it. Alright, so let's see what to do. We'll come back to the create room category. So let's go back there. Let us go back there. So here we are. So let me go back there. We go back to our create room category, then work on the image uploading. So image uploading, first of all, our form, what is the create? I think this is the one. Our form, we are going to make it multi-part. Okay, so we're going to make the form multi-part. Make the form multi-parts. Okay, so here immediately after the post, we go ahead and add this word encrypt type multi-part stroke form data. You add it here, otherwise your photos will not upload. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to come here on top. So after you've added that, and then you have this file. So you have here the text input, and then the type is a file. So and the name is photo. So I'm going to go back now on top here. You can just simply come back on top here. I'm just going to first play with everything before we even proceed with the saving. So let me come here and say echo pre-tag, and just simply put print post, and then print files, and close the print and die. So that is it. So I want to display what is being uploaded. So this is the post, this is the post data, this is the file that are being uploaded. So I'll go ahead and refresh, and then I do some fake filler, then come and pick one of the photo from my local database, from my storage, and then select it, and then say submit. So you see, when I submit, if I've put this, I'll be able to receive this kind of things. I'm able to receive this and also this. All right, so we're going to upload this. Okay, So what we're going to be doing, we're going to create a function that will be uploading I don't know, we should create a function that uploads a list of files, a function that uploads a single file. I don't know, let me think. Let's create a function that uploads a single file. Okay, a function that uploads a single file. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. So I'm going to create a function that's going to be uploading a single file. So here, we're just simply going to check if it's set. Just simply going to check if is set. So I'm going to just simply check if is set and then I also say again if it's set and is set. So you know our photo is coming through photo. So if that is set, I'm going to know that there is a photo that is coming. Okay, I can say die, can just simply do some dd and then display that photo. So if I refresh, you see that we are able now to display that photo that is going to be uploaded. Alright, so let's go ahead and now upload the photo. Let's go ahead and upload the photo. Let's go ahead and upload the photo. Let's go ahead and upload the photo. So I'm thinking I'm going to approach. Alright, but let's go ahead and upload this photo, right? Okay, so yeah, so I think I get the idea. So we're going to create now the function for uploading. So I'll come here to functions and create a function called file uploading. So I'm going to create file uploading function. Our time is up, but let us use 4 minutes to accomplish at least uploading the files. So this is a file uploading function. I just simply made image uploading function. Yeah, so I'm going to deal with images most. Right, so so it's going to be receiving the file and the path where it is going to be set. Let me just receive only the file. All right. So Copilot will do for me the rest of things, but I can explain. Okay, so which you get here the file name, we get the file size. Let's first check. Let's first create here an array called response. So response, it will be having status and status, so it's successful or failed, and also the message. Okay, so I'm going to check if is an array. So whatever will be sent here should be an array. Okay, so I'll just simply first go ahead and check if is not array. So I just simply do that. Check if file is not array. I make the message to be invalid and return back the response. So that's the first checking. So I'm going to check if the rest are set. Check if file has error. So I check if the error is not 0. So if the error of this is not 0, I go ahead and say file has error and then I return back. Okay. Alright, so another thing I might need to check if is set. Can check if the name is set. We can check if the temp name is set. So those are the important things. So you see how I'm checking them, how I'm returning, and I can also check if the error is set. This one, that's if those are set, I'll know that okay, the file is good to upload. Alright, so after doing so, I go ahead and get the name of the file, the temp name, and then the file size, and has the error size. Let me first delete this. So after doing so, I go ahead and say allowed. So I go ahead and get the file extension. Okay, I go ahead and get the file extension, and it's supposed to be the file name. I get the file extension. So let me just get the extension in a better way. So start lower, and then the file text. Okay, so here I get the file text, okay, extension, like it is .image, .jpg, .what. I get that one. Okay, and then I change it to lowercase. If it sometimes might be lowercase, in lowercase or in uppercase, something like that. And then after doing so, I go ahead and check if this is in our accepted files. If it is there, I go ahead and proceed from here. Alright, so let's first stop from there. Let's come back here and see our and call this function. Okay, call this function upload image. So I'll just simply say maybe response equals to upload image. See, and then I give it the file. So let's see what has come. Let's just echo and see what has come. Yep, so if I come and refresh, you'll see nothing has come, telling me that everything is okay here. Alright, see here, everything is okay. So now let's go ahead and upload now the image. I check if the file error is not 0. I return that the image has error, and then I go ahead and get the unique name. So file name is equal to new, and then say unique, and then I get the file extension. So if I die with this unique name, I'll see that I'll have some kind of unique name, right? They have some kind of a unique name. Alright, so after doing so, unique name, file extension. If I refresh again, you see I have a unique name, some kind of unique name. Okay, so I can get, after doing so, I'll go ahead and however, I did like the way how we explode this file extension. I want to get, okay, so let me do like this. I say maybe explodes equals to, I get explodes the file name. Let me just simply say if the explodes less than 0, and then say invalid name. Otherwise, I just simply come here and say echo, maybe put a printer, a print tag, and then say printer, and die from here, and I see the explodes. So you see the explodes an array, and I want, for me, I'm interested in this last one. So the extension is going to be file extension is going to be the very last part, which is going to be explode at the end. So that's how I get the last part of the array. Okay, so I get the very last part of the array. So I can now look at our file extension right now. Let me pass here in the die. So that is our file extension, which is PNG, and that is correct. Okay, that is correct. not this way how they are doing it. I didn't like it. Let me using Copilot. Let me see how Copilot does it. See, it's all right. All right, so all right, let's see. So that has file extension. You just get the end of that explode, and if I come and refresh, you see our file extension is there in PNG. All right, so that is it. Let me remove this one. Let me remove this. So I have a file extension there. Straightforward. So I check if this extension is not array, and then say the file type was not allowed. All right, so I get the unique name and then I add the extension. So if I come and refresh right now, you'll see our name is a little bit okay. Our name is a little bit better with that extension. Okay, so this name will always be unique. It will try to be as unique as possible so that it does not look like other things. All right, so after doing so, let me go ahead and now upload the file. So this is the new file. So we're going to create a folder here called uploads. Remember to create that folder. So let me come here and say new folder. I'm going to call it uploads, like this. That is our folder called uploads. All right, so that's the destination. So we go ahead and do upload now the file. Remove the file. So to move the file to the upload, we just simply say move file, and then we go ahead and say, if it say move file, so get it from the temp file name, this one that we collected here, the temp file name. Okay, temp file name, and then you put the file destination where the file is going here. And then after, we go ahead and say if it successfully execute this, it will return true. We go ahead and say status is true, meaning success, and then the message we put the file name or the file path, something like that. So if it fails, we just simply put file uploaded fail, and then the status remains false, and then we return that. So that is how it will return one of the two, of course. So that is how we upload. So you can pause the video and look at this function very carefully. Let me move it slowly. That's our file upload. I move it slowly so you can understand it. Okay, yep, so that's our image uploading. So let's try to upload. Let me commit these changes. So if I come and refresh here right now, so you see status is 1, file upload successfully. If I come to a folder, see the file is here. If I come to a folder of uploads, you'll see the file has been uploaded successfully. All right, so that is very good. Now let's go ahead and do that. So we check. So you can just simply on top here, we can just simply put maybe image, maybe say maybe image, and make it to be null by default. All right, so we just go ahead and check. Now we check our response if is array. Okay, check if is array. We check if it's array. We check if the status is set. We check if the status is exactly true, and then we just simply say the img equal to this. You see, I'm checking if it is an array, I'm checking if the status is set, and I'm checking if the status is true. You see how I'm doing that? You can pause the video and look at it. And if all those are true, I just get whatever in the message and I put it here in the image or uploaded image, and make this one to be so if I come here and display it, let me just display the image, so you should be able to see the image path that has been uploaded. All right, so let me exit there. So if I come and refresh here, you see the image path is there, so it is uploaded successfully. So let me remove this pre-tag, let me remove all these, let me remove all this garbage. All right, so after doing so, I'll just simply cut this function and remove it from top here, and then come and put it here when we are about to save. When you're about to save here, db insert. So db insert, we just pass the image. Okay, by default it will be now. So we go ahead and pass here the photo. Okay, pass here the photo. I hope that is how we saved it in the database, the photo. So if it is all true, I go ahead and pass the what? The photo here. If it is all true, I go ahead and pass the photo. So let's save and then refresh. So you see product uploaded successfully. And if you come to the database, you see that you have now 2 records, and the most latest is having the photo that has been uploaded. If I come here, you'll see that the photo is there. So that is how you upload, and that's it for today's lecture. We shall proceed from there in the next lecture. I hope you enjoy. I hope you're learning. I hope you're trying these things, because if you try them, you'll see them making sense. Alright, so we meet in the next lecture. That's it for today. It has been an awesome thing. Follow the videos step by step. Keep practicing. Just practice to make sure that you do it. You understand every bit. When you practice these things many times, you'll see that you're becoming a master, and you can start doing your own projects at your own pace, at your own time. Alright, that's it for today, guys, unless there's anyone with a question. Duncan, you've been following?
Yeah, I've been following.
So how do you see things?
You understand?
Alright, that's good. I've uploaded yesterday's video and the previous lecture videos. You practice very much, very much. You'll be able to see that these things will start making sense to you. Just practice. That's the only way you can become better. And once you have these things in your brain, they'll become yours forever.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Have a nice day. Just keep practicing. That's all I can tell you. We meet tomorrow.
Okay.